Hello and welcome, my lovely Scorpio. Scorpio, this is your weekly intuitive energy and card reading for the week of January 20th through 26th, 2020. Remember, time is merely a pretense. This could be past, present, and or future energies. Remember, Scorpios, the stars you were born under are not personality programming, but the lessons and the experiences you can expect in this lifetime. So do hang around for the entirety of the reading for collective Scorpio messages and stories, like a good fable or fairy tale that should apply. There should be something there for you. But of course, take what resonates and leave out all the rest. All right, my lovely Scorpios, what have we been working with the first 3 weeks of January? Were very tumultuous for me and my spirit and my energy, and I am just recovering. I went through a lot. There's a lot of things that you may have had to defend, a lot of paths you may have had to close, a lot of options you may have had to open. There are things that you didn't think you would ever touch in your own life that you've been touching quite a bit lately, kind of energy. For the most part, it's been tough. But, so we had that, we were in Capricorn season, we have that Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, which is like a full moon times a billion, forcing you to see something that you weren't prepared to look at. Yeah, thanks, Spirit. And if you opened your eyes to that, I'm sure you had a tough one, as did I. So it's been a little rough, but I'm recovering and I'm back reading. I feel stronger. A lot of times my body takes the brunt of spiritual changes more so than my actual spirit. That tends to be fine, but man, the migraines, without explanation, terrible. All right, so what do we have coming now? Okay, so we did get some relief from all that Capricornian, crazy full moon eclipse kind of season gearing up energy. And that started when we had Venus move into Pisces, which is very dreamy, tender, loving care kind of energy. We do have to be careful because it's so fairy tale and so magical that we might just want to ignore red flags or push them under the rug for the sake of just enjoying the tender love. However, we also have on Monday the 20th, we have Sun moving into Aquarius, and that's that eccentric kind of energy, logic over heart kind of energy, that that's kind of just a break from all this nonsense. Being in Aries, ruled by Mars, the first 3 weeks of January have been exhausting and terrible and compiling, and there are things you had to defend. I say that things you had to defend that you were like, why would I have to defend this now? Why would I have to explain this now? Well, these are triggers and themes that kind of spirit kind of throws at you to get you paying attention to the areas you need to pay attention to. So when we come into Friday's new moon, that is a new moon in Aquarius, it's time to set our intentions, plant our seeds for moon to moon kind of thing, make our goals. You want to make them in accordance with these Capricornian, Big Daddy, Jupiter and Capricorn all year round, remember, energies that have been striking at us these first 3 weeks in January. And like I said, Scorpio, you're ruled by Mars, just like in Aries, and I'm sure you just want to do, but there was so much thinking and planning and preparing, Capricornian, like, that it's been insane. But we are relief. I can't believe this, but Aquarius is bringing us quite relief. It's going to be some noise coming around because it's MLK Day. It's a holiday in my house. Everyone is home. My nephews are playing like crazy, watching cartoons. My sister is sewing a really, really beautiful dress for my niece for her winter formal. So you'll hear the sewing machine too. Try and not pay attention to it. I seem to be centered despite all this noise. It's like the house can be very quiet sometimes, especially on school days, and it's just that energy of it's that hustle and bustle of life coming back. And my Scorpios, I know, being ruled by Mars, hustle and bustle of life, thank goodness, right? I told you that there's a lot of planning energy that comes with that Big Daddy Capricornian energy that we haven't had to deal with. We don't have to deal with this heavily anymore. I'm relieved. And I know this is could be lucky energy, and definitely, you know, winning the wins kind of energy, you know, tiger blood kind of energy. But it's been a bit much. All right, so thankfully we're moving out of that a little bit. We can get some relief. Hopefully we'll take the benefits of these first 3 weeks in January and move forward in the year ahead with them. All right, let's get to it. So me being the Queen of Clovers, my readings tend to focus on life, craft, action, nurturing ourselves and others, and using our will for the highest good and calling. This is my charismatic gift I share with you with unconditional love and gratitude. And I thank you now for all your likes, your subscribes. Of course, your views always do help the channel. And please subscribe now if you haven't. I am truly grateful for you sharing your energy with me. It helps me a lot more than you believe. All right, so I don't always pull the bottom of the deck, but I'm always surprised what's there. So I will tell you now, it's that Two of Swords. It is that tension of not making a decision, that tension of not pulling two energies together or letting the swords cross. Always makes me think of Ghostbusters, you know, never cross the streams. And then they say, oh, we must cross the streams, but it's something you're not looking at because see, his eyes are closed. Usually he's blindfolded, but let's get to it. I've pulled a 9-card spread with that Manga Tarot, and then I'm just going to get some advice from Spirit for my Egyptian Cartomancy deck. I've only been clarifying the Tower this week. Okay, so energy you're bringing into this reading, energy you're pulling from the first 3 weeks of January that have been, I have the Empress card. The Empress card is the ruler of home. She's the ruler of not working things, of, you know, picnics and abundance and nurturing and ideas. She's the counterpart to the Emperor, that Mars King, as I like to call him. But this is you pulling on your opposite energy. Very abundant, nurturing, enhancing kind of energy, and very feminine energy as well too that you're pulling on here. And I do have that with the 8 of Wands in reverse. Now this 8 of Wands in reverse is, see these hands here? I always like to say this is the card of, I ain't got no plans because I'm leaving it to God. I'm leaving it to Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel kind of thing. It's the energy of you need to focus on other things. And you've been focusing on other things. It feels like you've been called to home. You've been called to your feminine energy, your anti-energy. And you're not really sure what to do with it, but you're kind of running with it no matter what. And even though this is that pre-Emperor King of Wands energy, it's in reverse, it's because you probably feel a little bit bratty. You're not really feeling that Emperor energy, that Mars energy. Maybe you're not feeling as active. You're feeling more nurturing, more abundant. Like I said, enhancing energy. Less about driving forward, solving other people's problems, giving them what they need. No, this is a little more gentle that you're pulling on. And it feels like you're pulling on it. Why are you pulling on this feminine energy? It's very strange and contradictory. It's very let go energy. And it feels like you're just a bit tired. Scorpio, you're just tired of being the Emperor. And you're trying to... It's like you took these first 3 weeks of January and you pulled, oh look, there's another 3 there. These 3 weeks of January and you pulled on this energy because you're like, what else is there? It's like you're not satisfied with the energy you have been using in the past. So you want to pull on this energy. You don't want to make plans. You don't want to set out the bullet points or check boxes. But you can't do nothing. You're ruled by Mars. You have energy that must be used. And so it's like you're, and that's why you're pulling on this energy instead. And it's like you're cleaning your house or you're sorting your taxes. It's like, it's very dutiful energy that's just a little less Mars, a little more Empress, a little more abundant, a little more enhancing, you know, a little more fairy lights in the garden, as opposed to digging and turning over the soil and making sure it's ready to plant kind of energy. It's just a little more gentle than you're used to. People are a little like, what's going on with Scorpio? This is male or female. It doesn't have to be a girl either. And the energy that's going to hit you this week, I have the 6 of Cups, which is past energy. It could be past life energy. It could just be past lovey-dovey energy. 6 of Cups is also the home card for me. It's just like focusing on the home. And it's like home has called your attention. This could be Spirit says some of you are at home for like a maternity leave, or some kind of leave that you had to take, or maybe you had to take your vacation time, and now you're kind of stuck at home in the middle of January because you had to take that vacation time or lose it kind of thing. It's kind of that energy of just, you're kind of like buried in it. You like jumped in this cups, but they're in the upright, so it's more memorable. It's more what's the word? It's more nostalgic it's more nostalgic than problem. It's not big major triggers. Oh, in the center of your reading, I have the Four of Swords, which is resting. You just got to get away from the words. You got to get away from the difficulties, and this is just being receptive and open to the nostalgia, to the possibility. Perhaps you have family visiting. Perhaps you have family visiting why you've taken this weird time off in the middle of January, or you're stuck in the snow. You just kind of have that home energy, that resting energy. It does feel more injurious, like you're recovering from an injury, or you're just recovering from something that has you stuck at home. But there's something about it. This is why you're pulling on that feminine energy, because there's a mastery kind of energy with this Eight of Pence. It is a focusing kind of energy. It's less about like accomplishing, like I said, to getting your shovel and digging out the dirt. I live in California, so the dirt's, you can plant roses any time of year. The ground ain't hard, it ain't frozen, but this is that mastery energy. This would be like pulling weeds and snipping at the ends of in your garden. And I bring up the garden because that's a very Empress-like energy. It's like sorting your towel closet, getting the laundry done. It's kind of putting your house in order, maybe taking down the decorations from the holidays. But this is that mastery card, and has a bit to do with home, but it's mastery. It's like, over the holidays, I always make sure I pull a book because it rains. I can't go outside. I can't be under the sun as much as I like. So I always remember to pull a book, make sure I have something to read if I haven't been already. And this year I pulled the Brothers Karamazov again. And it's that energy of just mastering this work, really getting into it, picking out themes, writing notes on it. And it's that sense of you're mastering something that doesn't involve getting up on your feet and running around. This is very quiet energy. It's very internal energy. It could be increasing your value. It could be meditation even though the Spirit card isn't really here. Because you did, with the Wands, the Spirit card, it's Jesus take the wheel, Eight of Cards in reverse. You don't really have a major goal ahead of you. It's just to get better at something, or just to indulge some sense of deep longing. And it does have a bit of nostalgia. The Spirit is saying some of us are like going through our Netflix movies and just like binge watching like all the movies we love from the past that we haven't watched in a while. Okay, the results of this week, kind of the way things are going to end up after this energy hits you. I still have this Work card in reverse, and it is that kind of like homebound energy. Maybe you don't have as much work this week as you planned on. Again, it could be associated with the weather, but it's just work is a little upside down right now. And it has that feeling of there's something forced about it. Your hand's been forced on it, and you're still dealing with that. And you do, I'm not really sure. Advice from Spirit is going to be critical, because I do have the Seven of Pence in reverse, which is not a good harvest. It's not really tending the garden and working in the garden and getting what you need done, which is, it makes sense. It is the winter. But then I have the Queen of Coins in reverse. Queen of Coins is financial security above all for an earth sign. Very Capricornian energy that we're leaving. But it just means that you are not very financially secure. It's almost like it's almost like you've got to seek mastery. It's this King of Wands has been, now it explains why you're in the reverse too, coming into this reading, is because it feels like your hands are tied. You can't take action. There's something wrong with being able to take action, in terms of you kind of gotta let it go. You have to pull on your feminine energy to enforce any energy right now, Scorpio, because of the fact that yes, there's some kind of limits to you, and I'm not really sure what it is. It's kind of different for everybody, it seems. Lots of suggestions coming in from Spirit, but they're basically saying you need to rest. Go ahead and rest. Be receptive to this moment, because you are going to master something in this. your value, really. I feel it's more like you're going to master your ability to not work, to not be action oriented, which is really weird, Scorpio, but there's something about it that you must contend with. A lot of my older clients, I should say, or even me, I'm about to be 42 in April. It's not a big deal, but there are some things, you know, I can't get up and run a mile like I did when I was 18. I could probably do it, but I could probably not walk for a couple days afterwards. It's that sense of there's things that you need to back off on, and physical. It's like moving into different aspects of your life. The Empress and the Emperor are not extremely active energies. They've commanded these energies. This is the commanding energy of the feminine. Emperor is a commanding energy of the masculine. These energies are not about the people who are in the weeds doing the work. It's a very different kind of like powerful energy. You're still accomplishing a lot. You're still instituting change. You're still supporting the ones you love, but it's very different than hands dirty energy. It's a little bit more laissez-faire when you're up there. You can't be in the weeds when you're the Emperor or the Empress. And it's that energy of kind of pulling back that you need to do. Perhaps some of you have received a promotion, or you're about to step into a promotion, or you're about to start working with people underneath you. And you have a little bit of time before that where you need to take a moment, take a sigh, and remember that when you're boss, you know, your underlings need to do the work, and you need to be kind of above that. So you need to, or you're just not going to have the energy for it. You really can't do both, no matter your age. So it kind of has that energy to it. And it's a major change. Okay, I do have the Ace of Pence. It's a major change. And it could just be that sense that there's some things, you know, there's a time when a police officer or fireman has to retire, or even a service member has to retire, that you just have to. It's just, you hit a certain age and your body's going to say no. Some people can prolong it as, you know, as far as you can go, but just remember what you're prolonging. If you prolong a career by 10 years, you know, by continuing to live this physical life as long as possible, you know, this highly action-oriented life, you know, you're probably making the rest of your life a little tougher. You know, the end of life energies. I don't know how to explain it, but there is a limit to, there's a time when everybody needs to kind of adjust into a different kind of energy. A less physical energy. And I'm not saying, and it's not always age-based. It's just, it's based on, you know, it's just a different phase of life you need to move into, Scorpios. And it's, okay, the transition here is not easy, because it's going to be, it's flipped you up financially. Flipped you up for, in reverse financially and value. It's flipped up your ability to earn, and your Queen of Pence, your financial security, is a little off. And yes, Spirit is saying, yes, pay attention. There are some, you know, there, you need that give and take relationship. You need money to come and go evenly again, and you need to settle into a new budget probably, and you need to not take on too many fighting. He has his staff in his hand, but this is in reverse, because you're not going to be able to raise your staff like you used to. You're not going to be able to take on journeys or activities like you used to be. And it's no tea, no shade, no, you know, no insults, whatever. It's just you're moving into a phase of your life where you need to conquer a non-physical phase. And you may not even be injured. It just may be an opportunity available to you that's requiring you to not take on that beast. Like I said, not be the one wearing the tools or the shovels. And it might be driving you a little nuts, Scorpio, but it is a wish come true. You don't realize it's a wish come true right away. All you see is that I'm stuck, I'm stopped, I'm in this feminine energy. I'm not in this Emperor energy. I'm in this damn Empress energy. It's kind of where you are in this situation, but it's going to be a dream come true. It's going to be everything you ever wanted. You just don't see it yet. You're just looking at it a little twisted, because it's not what you're used to. It's not what you, it's just a little less Mars, a little less physicality in your life. That it's going to be an adjustment, and the adjustment might put your Queen of Coins in reverse. You got that's a repeater card here. And of course we have the nostalgia card, like, oh, the good old days when I used to just be, when I used to be 100 pounds, oh, I could do anything. I could just climb the Empire State Building on a whim one morning if I wanted to. It's kind of loosening that need to be this super physical Mars kind of like fighter battle card energy. The war might be over. It might be time to move on to other things kind of thing. So it's just a changing energy, but you need to accept, because it is indeed a wish come true. Make the adjustments necessary, because you're going to find you're a lot happier than you realize. You just don't know how happy you're going to be because you're resisting it. And just remember, what you resist persists. All right, Scorpio, thank you for sharing your energy with me. Hang in there, babies. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, tip, or donate if the spirit moves you. Everything is in the box below. And have a great week, my lovely, lovely Scorpios.